following the court orders. So, with that being said, let's get into the next testimony. And just to err on the side of caution, anybody who is on the prosecution's list, I'm just kind of going to, even though they told me it was solely to the victim as far as they knew, I'm just going to be cautious and try to mute out when they say their names, when they say certain names from, because they're considered like victims of this circumstance. So that's what I'm going to do. If you know who it is, you know who it is. And that's just that on that. Everybody who has been watching the case, and even the ones who are trying to just now come in and start covering him. All of us know the names of the certain individuals. So, that's just that on that. So let's get into this gig, and hopefully you enjoy the coverage. If you want to support all of the work that I'm doing to cover this case, definitely can support me via super chat. If you are watching this after it is no longer live, you can also do a super sticker in the comments, or you can, donate via Cash App or support it on my website. With that being said, let's get into the testimony.
So pull your pants up here in the courtroom, please.
Wait.
Look at her face.
You swear or affirm the testimony to the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Lower your hand. State your name for the court.
Legio Bishop.
Very well.
Okay. When did you first learn of him?
Oh man. During my spiritual journey, very early on, I had seen his videos after looking at Dr. Sebi, and he was talking about Dr. Sebi, and then
Just lean forward a little bit so we
Oh,
can
yeah.
listen to the microphone, please.
My cheek.
Much better. Thank you.
So you said Dr. Sevi, is that right?
Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. I was getting deep into veganism and being organic, and his video popped up where he was talking about that. I trailed back into other videos and found him talking about things I talk about, no one else does.
Okay. And that was Mr. Bishop that was talking about those things?
Yes,
Okay.
online.
When you say a while ago, we're talking a couple years, 5 years, if you just had to estimate about how long ago you first learned of him?
5.5 years.
Okay. And did that start just online?
Yes.
At some point, did you begin communicating with Mr. Bishop?
Actually, yes, I ended up playing chess with him online while I was watching his videos. And he didn't know it was me. But after that, not much personal. No.
Okay. At some point, well, I guess you said you were on this journey. What else was going on in your life at that point when you started finding the videos online?
Well, I was already, it was my birthday, 23, and I remember being very irritated with the fact that the world doesn't acknowledge nature in a certain way. And I was going through certain things with my family. I haven't lived with my father since ever. I used to spend weekends with him, things like that. No father figures around me. And I was always looking for that, always. Brothers, friends, whatever. And, I went to this isolation phase, and I was sleeping on the floor in my room, didn't even want to use the bed, going really deep into depression, just from learning more and more. And the more I learned, the sadder I got. I didn't know there was another way to live. I never thought of leaving the country, never imagined that you could live a nice life in Mexico, so seeing that was like a huge relief. When I saw his videos with him standing on the mountains, no clothes, speaking the knowledge that I taught, and I felt free. I felt like something like the ceiling was removed, and I could breathe, and I was like, I can keep living my life happily. I can do something.
And is that what was appealing about the life that Mr. Bishop offered?
100%.
When did you leave home to go stay with him?
Well, I actually went and started my own tribe, which was a video he made where he recommended we do that. I did. Naturally, actually didn't even plan it. I ended up going into Mexico. I'm from San Diego, California. We just crossed right through the border into Mexico, me and a couple friends. And we were just gonna do our own thing. Happy, super happy. Somebody ended up calling him while we were in the car. And he ended up asking what we have to offer. He ended up asking that my friends, they offered money and different things. I'm like, I got my music, I got my computer, I can make everyone an album. And he's like, we want him. We need, that's what we need. Yeah, you're for sure, you can come. And I was like, that's the commander in chief of the Earth plane. I would love to go. I would be honored.
Where were they located at this point?
They were actually in Palenque, Mexico. I have no idea though. I thought they were in Belize, or I didn't know.
Okay. And so did you at that point travel to Palenque?
Yes, so I went from Tijuana, and once we spoke with him, he had us go to various locations, and then we finally went to Palenque, and then he sent people to pick me and my friend Jacob up.
Okay. And where were they living or staying at this point?
There was a really nice, I think, couple acre property in Palenque, Mexico, top of the mountain.
Was it like a house? Were they in tents? Like, what was the living
It was
situation?
a decent sized house
Okay.
with a lot of acres of land. I think 5. I could be wrong, but it was a lot of acres of land, mango trees, fruit trees. We set up tents wherever.
And when you arrived, did you have personal belongings like passport, currency, things of that nature with you?
Yes.
What happened to those items?
I wasn't gonna leave them behind. I brought them with me, and I just stored them in my backpack in the attic. And after a couple months, it actually was all ruined from mold and things. But
And the name, did you go by a different name in the group?
it was the same.
When you first met up with the group, how would you describe your relationship with Mr. Bishop?
I think I was frustrated with the group in general. At first, they weren't applying the knowledge that we were there apparently for. It's like they didn't know. It's like they were students. And I thought I was going to be around a bunch of masters. Some of the guys were having a meeting. They were going to leave. I expressed my frustration of them not applying the same music that they rap, the same knowledge they rap about in their music. And I'm like, this is crazy. I thought you guys were them. And Alifio told me, he said, you're right. Don't worry, you are right. But they don't respect you yet. Be quiet and let me handle this. And I just sat there frustrated initially. I thought we had a good relationship at first, and I believe later on that night, he ended up going around calling me a vampire and saying I was just sucking up the energy around, and really negative. Started telling people to stop talking to me, started telling people to stop engaging with me. We were at dinner, I remember.
Looking for the best price on it? Kelley Blue Book Price Advisory. Does it need fixing? Kelley Blue Book Service and Repair Guided. Want to sell or trade it? Do it in an instant with Kelley Blue Book's instant cash offer. For all of the its, kbb.com.
Hey, want to know how I got this $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago? Look, if you've been injured in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you have to watch this video. There's a little known loophole that attorneys and insurance companies don't want you to know about. A loophole that allows you to get the maximum compensation that your accident actually deserves without settling for less, jumping through hoops, or contacting firm after firm that really don't care pleading your case. It only took me 30 seconds to go through. Now I'm getting $50,000 for my accident, the same one they offer me $5,000 for. And if you give me 1 minute, I'll show you the exact site that I used and how easy it is so you can do the same. I'm about to show you how I got this $50,000 check that I'm about to deposit into my bank account for an accident I was involved in just 5 months ago. The same accident that the insurance company offered me $5,000 for. And how I did it without settling for less, jumping through hoops, or contacting firm after firm pleading my case. And I'm gonna show you in real time how you can do it too, in 30 seconds or less. Ready? Okay, so there's this app called the Case Connect Compensation Calculator. It's a little known tool that's apparently 100% free. It's pretty crazy. It lets you know if your case qualifies for a big check and what that check can look like. Here, let me show you the site.
We were at dinner at Jade's, Cafe Jade in Puente, Mexico, and I was getting along very well with everyone. He did not like that.
What were the sleeping arrangements in the group?
The men were separated from the women, unless they were paired together, which was off and on. The sleeping arrangements were either on the floor in the house together as a group. If we're sleeping inside, if we sleep outside, we all had our own Cabela tents, very large tents, and we can share them with 4 to 8 people sometimes.
And
Or we had our own personal tents.
okay. And who would decide, like, if y'all are sleeping in the house or in the tent that night? Like, where did that come from?
The group, we would collectively agree on what we wanted to do for the night sometimes.
Okay. What about other rules within the group? When you got there, did you learn rules?
To a degree, we were told that we would be following the laws of Mayat, which was not done. And we were also told that we were going to be living by something called morals over desires, or MODs, which Eligio put together. And this was to keep us from doing things in our desires, if you will, or making sure that we made sacred movements with everything that we did.
So where did the rules within the group come from?
Well, there were rules, they just weren't ever followed. He put them together as far as I'm concerned, and as we went throughout the years, we're always changing and manipulating these rules and when and where to use them, things like that.
And who was changing the rules?
Eligio,
Were there rules related to romantic relationships?
yes, and that was the most fickle rule.
How so?
It only applied when either he was quote unquote single or the woman he wanted wouldn't be with him, or when he felt like he needed to do a media stunt was another reason. He would say he wanted all the women and things like that. It was really always very superficial, like he chose to intervene.
And were folks within the group able to say no to Mr. Bishop?
The option is to leave or agree.
What would happen if someone upset or angered Mr. Bishop?
I would say that emotional abuse would begin. This is where people would be isolated, put in a corner, or for those who are familiar with college, like a hazing type of thing, we treat people a certain way if they are not in agreement with him. Or one of the things that would happen is we would call them a cancer cell, and we would treat them like they're a cancer cell, like in the body, and they have to kill the cancer cells. But we're not going to kill them, we're just going to surround them. And this was the concept.
What did members of the group call Mr. Bishop? Like, how was he referred to?
It changed from my experience, Commander-in-Chief, and then it went to Chief. It went to, let me see, there was Nature Boy. I never really knew I never got to meet him when he went by Nature Boy. There was 3 guy, which is the most fraudulent one. Let me see. I think the list goes on. He used to change his name really often to similar things. So just small alterations.
How did he refer to the world outside of the group?
For those familiar with the Bible or history, Babylon is what he would call it.
And would he allow folks within the group to maintain communication with their friends and family outside of the group?
Yes, however, it was frowned upon.
How so?
It was as if you didn't really let go of your Babylon self or your Babylon family as it was regarded as. So if you did reach out and it wasn't to convince them to support us for money, there's no reason to be talking to them.
When people left the group, how did Mr. Bishop respond?
He didn't care. I mean, initially, when they try to leave, it's hell on wheels. Once they finally get to leave, he does not care.
Can you describe whether there was like an us against them ethos within the group?
Yes, there was a us against them ethos where anywhere segregation took place. So whether it was men or women, that would be a type of war. A team and B team. It would be these guys do the dirty work, we do all the technical stuff, and we get more rewards than them. That always played a part. At least I've seen it in how they felt, how the guys would feel. And anytime anyone would disagree with him, many times I had to sit up for hours fighting for what was true, while everyone was quote unquote being a yes man, just so they can go to sleep or just so they can eat.
Did you ever
So far, good
observe
testimony.
violence be used within the group?
Often, very often.
What was that violence used to accomplish?
Dominance.
By whom?
Illegal. Even if it was done from other people, it was usually under an order. Very militant, so things would be done under orders.
Good job, Solar.
Did the group maintain a robust online presence while you were there?
Oh yes.
And were there, I guess, was anything posted on any of the defendant's social media without his causing that to happen?
No, he actually had to verify most all posts. And even if we made our own content, you'd have to show to him initially to get it approved. After a while, we kind of got in the groove of the standard and we could just make our own content.
And by 2022, about if you had to estimate about how many social media followers did Mr. Bishop have?
Instagram read about 30,000. However, it was way more than that, all collectively on the internet.
And during your time in the group, did you participate in social media videos?
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers for up to half the price. That's amazing. And great customer service based here in America. That's amazing. And no hidden fees, no contracts, and free activation. That's amazing. Hello? Barbara? Sorry, I was muted. That's amazing. I know, right?
Barbara, did you see that?
Videos?
Often, yes.
Did those, during the course of those videos, were you saying positive things about Mr. Bishop and the group?
Always, yeah.
Did your comments in those videos accurately reflect the reality of what was happening?
No, because we only spoke of knowledge. We didn't really speak about what went on in the home front.
Were you with the group on March 24th of 2022,
I believe so, yes.
the night you left?
Yes,
Do you remember what was happening that day?
yes.
What was going on?
The relevant part, I was actually setting up an interview with Tasha K this day at the house.
Who's Tasha K?
She's a YouTuber
Okay, so
who's known for many things, I'm sure.
okay,
I
so
don't know her details, but I met with her for lunch. We scheduled an interview at the house this day. Excuse me, not this. Yeah, that's when I scheduled it. And that night, I remember, excuse me, I think I confused the dates a little bit, but I think that night with the event, she was yet again fighting to be in a relationship with me. Usually the cause of most issues with it was she wanted to be with me over and over and all the time. She's always telling it to him. And my ex was behind me. Her name, you guys know her as Zoga, or Jan Marie. You guys know her as Zoga. He knows she's my ex, and he knows that he wants to be with me. I've even been with both of them at the same time before. And the thing is, when he likes to put us on blast, we use astrology to really point out flaws or things, psychological issues people may have. I share certain aspects in astrology that were highlighted during this meeting. We were being called demons. We were being told that we're operating in our lower selves.
Okay, so hold on. I think I'm lost. So this meeting is taking place that night?
That night.
Okay. All right. And so who all is present for the meeting?
The whole group.
Okay. And you said that you're being told this. Who's saying these things about you?
So Eligio has a table just like this, and he has a TV, and he has our chart pulled up on a TV. Everybody's sitting in various areas, either on their knees, men would be on their knees often, or women would be sitting in the chairs, however it works.
Okay.
We're all in the same room.
Okay. So as that's going on, what happens next?
So he starts to pull up these aspects, talking about we have this same demon, quote unquote, and he continues to fight for what she wants. And Eligio starts antagonizing her. Can't tell you verbatim what he was saying.
You
It got to a
can't
point to where-
because you don't remember or something else?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough. All right, go ahead.
And he ended up having Zelda slapping her a couple of times. I remember he said that. I do remember. He said, "What was that face? I saw that face. What was that face you used to make?" I remember that. And I was like, "What face? What? I'm just here." She was like, obviously was scared to be punished immediately. He then had my ex, Zelda, start slapping her. She slapped her a couple times based off of how they responded. Shortly after this, we continued the meeting hours. It's just a bunch of redundant things. The night that meeting's over, finally submits, which is usually what happens. She submits to whatever the will is of the collective to proceed. They end up having their night. She ends up saying, "Well, I'm just going to leave." She calls her Uber, has everything there. We're not stopping her. We don't really care. She's leaving, you know? And the girls call her back upstairs as she's leaving. And this is when we don't necessarily know all the details.
So let me just so we're clear. So when they went back upstairs, do you remember who called her inside?
Malia.
Okay. So Malia calls her inside.
Malia said, "God's calling you."
Okay. So after Malia said that, what did you see do?
She went upstairs.
Okay.
And I thought she was going to leave again, but she just went upstairs and never came back down.
Okay. And where were you at this point?
I was in the same space where we were having the meeting. Very close to that is a little room where I have a little office where I do most of my technical work. I just went there.
And so you were, okay. Were you paying attention to what was going on upstairs?
No, the men usually separate and let the lead handle whatever he wants to do with the women. And the men usually we work together and manage each other.
What else was going on in the house at this point?
Nothing. Cleaning.
Okay.
Just cleaning and doing the mundane things, seeing what money can be made, keeping the social media going. That's about it.
Okay. You ever see again after that?
Yes.
Well, did you ever see again within the group after that?
Within the group, no.
Okay.
That was her last time with that group.
All right. How long did you remain in the group?
About a week after, I remember.
If you're going to follow Jesus, you might have to actually believe that he is the only way. Do you think that's a requirement of following Jesus?
Oh, man.
Welcome back to Jesus versus America.
Shortly after she left, we had got a warrant, and I was showing the warrant, and it wasn't taken very serious. I remember saving it in my desk because I knew it was serious, the warrant. And about a little bit later, the police came and arrested pretty much everybody off of for this speaker.
And so after that event, did you remain loyal to the group, or what did you do?
When we initially were arrested, I just stayed there. He never came back
Okay.
from being arrested. I stayed with the group, and I continued to help mitigate whatever needed to be done to sustain everyone, as that was my role.
At some point, though, did you meet again?
Yes.
Okay. And did the two of you all engage in a relationship?
When I first met with her, no. We actually stayed far apart because of the case. However, when I left, a couple men left with me, actually supported me in the leaving, and she ended up paying for my ticket at this place called Jeju. It's a spa. It's a place where I could just go and stay 24 hours, sleep and all that. And she paid for that, and she helped me with a number of things initially when I left.
Okay. When was the last time that you talked
to her?
That you have seen her in person?
Let me see. When I went to see my daughter with her, which was, I don't recall the date, maybe about 2-3 months ago.
So that's what I was trying to get at. The two of y'all have a child together, right?
Yes.
And that happened. Did that happen after you left the group?
Yes.
Okay. But are y'all currently in a relationship?
It's complicated.
Do y'all currently reside in the same home?
No.
If I could have just a second, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's complicated.
That's all the
We
questions.
know, we know, we know.
Cross.
All right, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great.
All right, awesome. My name is Robert Book. I represent Mr. Bishop. Just a few questions for you. All right, so you indicated you know him very well. You were in San Diego. You went over into Mexico. And what year was that you did that?
All right, so I'm going to pause that right there. This will be its own video, the prosecution talking to the witness, and the cross will be its own video, or I might put it together. I really don't know, but right now I'm gonna pause it. And if you guys like the coverage so far, let me know down below. What do you think about his testimony? So far, he's given good testimony. I know that the defense his job is to basically discredit him and make him look like he is not telling the truth. My guess is that the defense will probably make it seem as though they plotted this. If I was the defense, that's kind of what I would do. But I haven't got that far. I haven't seen what the defense does. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Stay tuned for part 2 of his testimony with Cross. I'll probably do it all together, Cross and rebuttal, on the next one. But y'all let me know what y'all think so far. I want to end it right here so I can edit out. It's about 10 minutes that they mentioned the victim's name. So I want to just stop it right here. Go edit out that 10 minutes. Put this up for you guys. Come back, watch this part of it, and then post that. So I'm gonna get y'all the coverage, but bear with me. I have to follow the court's order. I don't mind anybody reacting to my videos. This is a public trial, and this is a case that we've all been waiting for. A lot of people who have been covering this case. I do not mind if people react to my video. The only thing that I will say is if you reacted to my coverage of the first day of trial where I did not redact the victim's name and you do not take it down, I will strike you. If you react to this video, but you have that video up, I will strike every video that you post, okay? All I'm asking for anybody who uses my coverage is to simply, in plain, take down the video from yesterday. We got so many videos going.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Just enter your vehicle ID information, answer a couple questions, then receive a no-obligation offer to sell it or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car, schedule a time, and drive away with confidence.
Forward that you're gonna be able to do your commentary. I do mine. Everybody could do their job. I don't want to, infringe on that. I know how it is to, be a YouTuber, be grinding or whatever. It is what it is. Respect my wishes because I have to follow the court order. If you do not respect my wishes, I will enforce the court order and I will give out strikes. I don't like to give out strikes to people. I know how it is to be building up a channel. I know how it is to be grinding and all of those things. When you get a strike, it's not really good for your channel. So I'm asking very nicely, take down the coverage from yesterday. Going forward, you can react to anything that I post going forward, that because I'm going to make sure to redact those things. I'm going to make sure to put everything in accordance with the court order. And once I do that, anybody could react to it. I really don't care. Only caveat is take down yesterday's stream. If you react to all my coverage going forward and you leave up that video, I will strike that video. I will strike the next video. I will strike that. So it's a simple ask. Take down the coverage from yesterday and we can proceed going forward and have it that way. If you guys want to support the work that I'm doing, y'all know y'all can always visit my website, www.neekatnight.com. I have a very, 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 very good blowout sale going on. Everything must go. If you guys want to submit to the Cash App, y'all know it's Neek at Night 12, but y'all, it's copycats and fakes that are try to hype jack, my Cash App and try to make variations and everything like that. Make sure that it is exactly what's on the screen if you are going to donate to the channel. Thank you guys so much and stay tuned for part 2.
You have to be ready. Let's fight like demons. Most impressive.
District Attorney Fani, F-A-N-I.